What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What I'm coming at you with today is going to be a preview between the Camp Chef Woodwind and the Traeger Pro 22. Now, keeping this in full disclosure, Camp Chef did send me both of these smoker grills to do this comparison on, and one thing that they really wanted me to do was to be completely objective in this comparison. Anyway, if you're thinking about getting a pellet smoker, both of these are fine pellet smokers, but we're going to talk about a few of the differences, just so you can kind of know where I'm coming from as far as what I'm used to grilling on. I have offset smoker, I have pit barrel cooker, Weber Smoky Mountain, Weber kettle grill, and a master built electric smoker. So I have a lot of different smokers, so I'm pretty familiar with this, and I've also had a smaller Traeger myself. Anyway, if you're thinking about buying one of these two smokers, there's a few things that I would think that you should consider when choosing between the two. Now, my comparison is going to be going solely off of what is on both of their websites. You can buy these grills at other places. One thing I did notice primarily with the Traeger is if you're going to like Home Depot or Ace Hardware or something like that, a lot of times those versions might be a little less expensive, but some options are stripped down. One thing I noticed on the Traegers is that they are not any meat probes on it. There's no pellet release, and just a few little options like that. Anyway, let's talk about the price between both of these. The Camp Chef Woodwind is $8.99, and that's if you get this optional sear box. If you don't get the sear box, it's $200 less, so that would be $6.99. The Traeger Pro 22 is $799, so it's about $100 less than the Camp Chef Woodwind. Things to take in consideration. When you buy the Camp Chef Woodwind, what you're going to get is you are going to get, as of this video, things might change, I don't know, but you will get a free grill cover. So that's about a $59 value. You're going to get one bag of pellets, so that's another $20 value, and the shipping on this is free. So the Traeger, you're going to be looking at $7.99. Shipping, I put in zip codes all around the country. Shipping on the Traeger is going to be $105, and you get no pellets with that. So if you're going to do an apples to apples comparison between these two, the Camp Chef is going to be $899. The Traeger is going to be $923, and you're not going to get a sear box on that. So that makes the Camp Chef with the sear box less money than the Traeger without a sear box. And if you get the Camp Chef without the sear box, you are looking at about $300 less effectively. I did go ahead and buy the Traeger cover. I bought the Traeger cover at Home Depot. That was $59. I think it was $54 on Amazon. And the pellets are $18. So let's talk about some of the differences. Like I said, we're going to get real in-depth in this later. First of all, when you get this shipped from Camp Chef, it's going to come on an 18-wheeler. It's going to be all packaged up, cellophane around it, everything. They called me 2 days before to ask me when I wanted it delivered. They had a guy come out, deliver it, had a dolly, put it right in my garage. With the Traeger, it was shipped by UPS. The box was beat up when it got here. It came out of the blue. I didn't know when it was coming, and I actually had to help the guy unload the stuff from UPS. So I don't know what would have happened if I wasn't here when that came. As far as the build quality on both of them, the interior stuff, whether it be the deflection plate or any of those interior parts are pretty similar. I think that the Camp Chef has a better heating pot situation going on than the Traeger does, but that's really kind of minor. I would say that from an operational standpoint as a smoker, they are pretty similar, almost exact, I'd imagine. They both took about an hour to build. The person that I had build this was like the Rain Man of building stuff. He built both of these in an hour, so they were both about the same time to build. One thing he did say was that some of the parts were a little bit had kind of some sharp edges on the Camp Chef Woodwind, but none of those are parts that you would really be touching when you actually get it built. You know, minor things on it. On the Traeger, you have plastic wheels, and I'm going to have photos of the wheels of both of these near the end of the video, but these are plastic wheels. The Camp Chef has rubber wheels. You know, the Camp Chef is built where it has two caster wheels and then it has the two rubber wheels, and there's a lock on the wheels so you can kind of like break it, but this is a whole lot easier to move around. You can move it in tight spots. The Traeger, and part of it is this design that they have here makes it a lot harder to move. If you're going to move it and pick it up, there's a handle on the other end. If you pick it up, you really can't walk with normal strides because you'll keep hitting yourself in the back of the leg with this. But they are very sturdy, so I would say that this might be a more sturdy grill, but I'm not sure that there's a reason to have a grill that's this sturdy, because it's not like it's gonna, like maybe if you wanted to throw it in the back of your truck and not tie it down, maybe, you know, I don't see this falling down if you just had it in the back of your truck. So that's one thing to take into consideration. One thing about the Woodwind that you don't get with the Traeger is there is an ash catcher on this. So, you know, if you want to clean out the ash in your smoker, you do not have to take out all the parts to clean it. The Traeger, you have to take everything out of the inside, vacuum it out every few times you use it. I think they actually suggest every time you use it. But that can be a pain on this. They both do have a pellet drop, you know, system on it. So if you were in the middle of a cook and you wanted to switch pellet flavors, or if you were done cooking and you just wanted to drop the pellets out and put them away, they both have access to that. About the control panels, and I'm going to have pictures of the control panels later on this video as well. The control panel on the Camp Chef seems to be a little bit more advanced. There's nothing wrong with the Traeger control panel, but it just doesn't look as advanced as the one on the Camp Chef Woodwind. One advantage that you do get with the Traeger is that you do have dual probes in that control panel as opposed to just one in the Camp Chef. Now the Camp Chef does have access to the fuse from the front of the control panel, so if something goes wrong, you're not going to have to take the whole control panel off to get to it. The Traeger, you have to take the whole control panel off if something happens and you need to get in there. Speaking about the probes, I'm going to have a picture of the probe access points later on in this video. Where you run the probes through on the Woodwind, there's a little metal piece that kind of rocks back and forth, and you just stick the probe through that. The Traeger, it's a rubber port, and you're supposed to stick the probe through that and then into your meat. Well, I accidentally pushed that all the way through, you know, through the grill, and I spent like 30 minutes looking for that part. So this is a huge plus. As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure that I would use the probe port in the Traeger. I would probably just run that through the lid. Again, the inside, you know, the grill grate. The grill grates are pretty much exactly the same size. The grill grate does fit in the Woodwind better than it does in the Traeger. In the Traeger, it just sits on top of, you know, it just sits on top of the side of the grills. On the Woodwind, it actually sits a little bit deeper. So if you're cleaning your grill, you know, you don't have as much play with the grill going back and forth, or if you're flipping things. So that is a huge plus in this. You know, one thing that you get on this, let me show you this. So the hopper cover, you know, where you put your pellets in the Camp Chef Woodwind, is a whole lot bigger than on the Traeger. So really what that means is you can use this almost like a secondary shelf. This is big enough, but I can see some food falling off the side of this on accident. And if you get the Camp Chef Woodwind without the sear box, then there's a shelf that comes with this, so you would actually have some more space on this side as well. You know, they both come with 3-year warranties, so that's a pretty decent warranty. Another thing that Camp Chef Woodwind has is this auger box or pellet box. It has a magnet on top of it. I'm not sure if that really matters, but I do think that that speaks to kind of their attention to detail. And they do have a little guard in the auger, so you know, if you have kids or just somebody stupid running around and they want to stick their hands through there, they're not going to get their hand deep enough into the auger. I don't know if that's a plus or a minus. I haven't ran anything through this yet, but I could possibly see that being a plus or a minus. Anyway, you know, if you look at the front of these, you know, you have a stainless steel, and this is a smooth surface. And then I think this might be a cast iron lid or a thin cast iron lid. Whatever it is, the Traeger kind of has a rougher kind of a feel to it. And I can see kind of never really be able to get that super clean. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I can see that possibly being the case. This, you know, I think you could get that stainless steel wiped down really good. As far as the shipping goes, they both came with the tools that were needed to build both of these. Another picture that I think I'm going to put in the end of this video is the owner's manual with the Traeger. I think is a lot more user friendly, you know, step-by-step instructions. You know, it's almost like, you know, a picture of exactly what you're supposed to do. So like, let's say starting it, it's going to show a picture of what to do and everything like that. The Camp Chef is a little bit harder to maneuver through that owner's manual, but once you use it 1 or 2 times, you're probably not going to keep the owner's manual anyway. Anyway, those are my my initial thoughts on this. What I'm gonna do is I went out and bought some 2-inch thick New York strip steaks. I'm gonna try out this Camp Chef Woodwind on some 2-inch steaks, so be on the lookout for that video. Again, thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.